Hey there! Ever imagine life without cell phones or computers? Not unless we want to go back in time at least 150 years. We can't imagine a day without our mobile phones or personal computers, can we? That said, in this video we'll do a comparison of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, two of the most brilliant minds the world's ever seen, names that are synonymous with phones, computers, and software. They're also two of the most influential innovators of our age. They revolutionized telephony and computing and supercharged the world with technology. The companies they co-founded, Microsoft and Apple, continue to come out with concepts and innovations that will continue to rock the world for more time to come. We're going to do this comparison of these two tech giants based on their family background, education, how they started their companies, achievements, billionaire ratings, net worth, and a few other things. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs were both born in the same year, 1955. William Henry Gates III on October 28th in Seattle, Washington, USA, and Stephen Paul Jobs on February 24th in California, USA. But there's one difference. Bill Gates was born into a well-to-do upper-middle-class family, and Steve Jobs to two unwed parents who gave him up for adoption immediately after birth. However, both Gates' parents and Jobs' adoptive ones were warm, loving, and supportive. The boys grew up as normal kids. Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft Corporation, the world's largest software company. Bill Gates is an American business magnate, software developer, technologist, investor, and philanthropist. And Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple Inc., the world's most trusted mobile phone and computer company, was an American tech entrepreneur, business magnate, industrial designer, investor, and media proprietor. Would you believe it if we tell you that school bored the hell out of these two guys? School was stuffy for Bill, and he was turning into a sort of a loner, which worried his parents. Steve drove his teachers mad with his pranks throughout elementary school. They had to bribe him to make him study. Still, both Gates and Jobs did well, finished high school, and went to college. Bill went to Harvard, and Steve went to Reed College. But college was worse than school for both of them. They both dropped out within 2 years without finishing their courses. What's strange is both had friends from school who were computer geeks. Bill Gates had Paul Allen, and Steve Jobs had Steve Wozniak. Both launched their respective companies together with their friends. What happened next? Bill Gates is now the world's second richest man. His company, Microsoft, grew on to revolutionize microcomputers and dominates the world's software market. And Steve Jobs has passed on, but his company Apple remains the world's largest information technology company and maker of the world's most iconic cell phones and computers. Coming to Bill Gates again. Start of work life. Early on in 1968, when Bill Gates was still at school, a golden opportunity came. His school arranged computer time with the Seattle Computer Company for the students. Bill and his friend Paul Allen rushed headlong for their first brush with computers. They began programming together. Bill learned computer languages such as Fortran and Lisp. He even designed a tic-tac-toe game using BASIC that allowed others to compete against the computer. In 1975, he quit college and grabbed the opportunity to start Microsoft, along with Allen in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The next year, they renamed the company Microsoft. In 1979, they moved to Washington State, never looking back. By 1985, they'd launched Windows 1.0. Steve Jobs and the beginning of Apple. Jobs was good at marketing while his friend Wozniak was a wizard with computer chips. So in 1976, the two buddies took a bold step. Set up a factory at Steve Jobs' family garage to invent the Apple I, funding the venture from the sale of Jobs' Volkswagen bus and Wozniak's favorite scientific calculator. The gamble paid off. Wozniak went on conjuring up a series of user-friendly computers while Jobs busied with marketing the stuff. The first year they sold Apple I for $666 apiece. Their company earned $774,000. What they wanted was to revolutionize the computer industry by shrinking the machines and making them smaller, cheaper, and more intuitive. Their main aim? Make computers accessible to ordinary customers. Bill Gates, Microsoft's big break. Meanwhile, things were going great for Microsoft all through the 1980s. By replacing text interfaces with graphic ones, Windows OS became a breakthrough like no other operating system. The big break started in 1980 when IBM, the PC manufacturer leader of those days, approached Microsoft for a new basic operating system for its computers. Bill Gates saw the golden opportunity. There were these other PC manufacturers who made cheaper PC clones that were compatible with IBM machines. He reasoned, why not sell Microsoft OS to these companies too? And they did. In no time, Microsoft OS became industry standard, with every PC being installed with it. When Windows 95 was released, it created new OS standards that remain the backbone of future releases. Windows 97, XP, Vista, and now Windows 10. Steve Jobs. Apple went public, and Steve Jobs left. Things were doing great at Apple too. 3 years down to 1980, Wozniak and Jobs brought out the Apple II. The sales shot up 700%. Profits soared to $139 million. They went public. At the close of trading on the first day, Apple valued at $1.2 billion. As the company was growing, Jobs roped in John Sculley of Pepsi-Cola as CEO. Then Apple began to slide down. The later Apple products had design flaws, and customer complaints poured in. Apple had to recall quite many pieces. The next-gen Apple III, launched in 1980, was a flop too. When Apple rolled out the Macintosh in 1984, it was billed as a youthful and creative piece of a computer, superior to the IBM's. But it wasn't compatible with IBM. IBM overtook Apple in sales, and Sculley became unhappy with Jobs. He believed Jobs was hurting Apple and put pressure on him. Steve Jobs left Apple in 1985. Bill Gates, 2 decades down. 2 decades on, and Microsoft still rules with Bill Gates as CEO. In the year 2000, Gates stepped down and made himself Chief Software Architect. Steve Ballmer became the new CEO. Again, in 2008, he left his daily job at Microsoft to concentrate on philanthropic work that he started with his wife, Melinda, in the year 2000. In 2014, he stepped down as chairman, remaining on board only as a technology advisor. Steve Jobs, decade away from Apple and return. When Steve Jobs left Apple in 1985, he also sold off his shares. Next, he floated a hardware and software company, Next, that attempted to sell specialized operating systems for computers. The company didn't do well. In 1986, Steve Jobs bought the Pixar animation company that became a roaring success. It produced blockbuster movies such as Toy Story, Finding Nemo, and The Incredibles, which grossed $4 billion in the box office. Pixar later merged with Walt Disney, and Jobs remained its largest shareholder. In 1996, Apple bought Next for $429 million, and Steve Jobs returned to Apple as CEO. Bill Gates. Time to give back to society. Bill Gates is a man who believes in philanthropy. He and his wife Melinda started the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that focuses on critical global issues, especially on health, sanitation, and the environment. Bill and Melinda have given away an estimated $28 billion, including $8 billion to improve global health. Bill says he has no use for his money, and only a fraction of it will go to his 3 children, Jennifer, Phoebe, and Rory. He believes money serves one only up to a certain point, beyond which it must go to the poorest in the world. Still, Bill Gates' net worth is over $100 billion. His company, over $1 trillion. Steve Jobs, the new Apple. Meanwhile, at Apple, things were starting to look up once more soon after Jobs' return. Ingenious and stylish products like the iMac appeared on the assembly line. Slick marketing and effective branding, coupled with futuristic designs, got customers eyeing Apple products again. Apple launched such iconic products like the iMac, iBook, Mac OS X, iPod, iPhone, iPad, and many more. Thanks to Steve Jobs, like Microsoft, Apple is also worth over $1 trillion today. Well, he was worth $7 billion. He died of pancreatic cancer on October 5, 2011, leaving behind his wife, Maureen, and children, Aaron, Eve, and Reed. His last words, according to his sister, Mona Simpson, was, "Wow, oh wow, oh wow." Finally, both Bill Gates and Steve Jobs are geniuses with unique but opposing sets of leadership styles. Gates was democratic and Jobs was autocratic. But both leaders have one trait in common. They always understood what needed doing and motivated their team towards that goal. That's the trait of great leaders. Well, that's all in this video, folks. Thanks for watching, and we hope you've enjoyed it. If you know any interesting details that we haven't mentioned, go ahead and leave in the comment section below. Also, please subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so we can notify you when we upload new videos. Till next time, have a good one.